Hi there, so my name's James Boys and here we are today at Olympia. I'm the head of marketing at Walfinch and this is a takeover show today really, and today I'm going to be interviewing Julie Farrow, who is our Senior Franchise Support Manager, and we're going to find out all about basically what you should be looking for in general in franchising, but more specifically in home care. So let's get to it.
Go, go, here we go. Go, go, now here we go. Now, go, go, here we go.
You ain't never ever seen nothing like this.
Go, go, here we go. Go, go, now here we go. Now, go, go, here we go.
You ain't never ever seen nothing like this. Never have you ever seen something like me.
So here we are today at Olympia with Julie Farrow on my right hand side here, who's the Senior Franchise Support Manager at Walfinch. I'm James Boys, and I'm the Marketing Manager at Walfinch. So Julie, we just thought it'd be a good idea to have a chat really about what it means to be a franchisee in general, but of course also what it means to be a franchisee in home care, and all the different things that are important to think about when you're researching that opportunity. So firstly, I guess, what do you think is or are some of the most important things to think about when you're looking at buying a franchise in general, first and foremost?
I think it's franchising is a brilliant space to be in, because not only do you own your own business, but you also get to have the support that you wouldn't have if you run your own business on your own. So I think from that point of view, it's a fantastic opportunity to be supported, but go out on your own, make some of your own decisions. But I think the really important thing is to research every single opportunity within the space that you're looking at. So if you're looking for a man in a van, look at them all. If you're looking for healthcare, look at them all.
You're talking about the support from the head office and researching that part of it, really.
The support team are everything. It's a long-term relationship, frankly. You don't want to be going into a business where you're not sure and you're not sure about the team. Each team will have its own personality and a direction, frankly. So even though it's in the same space and you've got 5 different healthcare agencies, one of the franchises will gel with you. Your personality will really chime with the franchisor and the support team, and that's what you need in order to be successful, because you need that relationship to be successful for your success.
Yeah, of course. No, brilliant. And I think what you're saying there really rings true, because from my perspective, it's all about systems and support for if you're looking at buying a franchise. So researching those two things, but just on a more personal level for you, you're obviously our Senior Franchise Support Manager. You look after a group of franchisees in the southern region for us. And what kind of support would you offer? Because every franchise really will have a franchise support manager. So what kind of support specifically do you offer?
Well, it's tailored to each franchisee for a start. So all franchisees come from different backgrounds. So some people might come from a marketing background, or they might come from, have been a lawyer in their past.
Sure.
So they're always going to have areas that they already know and feel comfortable with. But everyone will have areas that they aren't comfortable with. And mostly when people come into the care industry, it's care that they haven't got familiarity with.
Right.
So all marketing, or it could be finance, or whatever it is. So we tailor the support that we give people depending on what their background is. So if they've never done marketing before, we'll really make sure that they get all the support and the hand-holding they need to learn how to be a networker, because it's really important to do that.
Sure.
Whereas if they've had no experience with the finance side, that's what we'll help them with, just to make them feel really comfortable with each different aspect of the business.
Yeah.
Not just the operation, but the business itself as well.
Sure. So do you think that it's absolutely necessary to have any home care experience to be a home care franchisee? Saying that, to me, it sounds like you don't really need it, because you can teach it.
In some ways, it's actually better not to, I think.
How so?
Well, I think if you ever walk into a franchise, a home care franchise, you'll see things happening, clients, carers, things are happening all the time, and it's very, very easy to get sucked in to the tiny bits of things going on, the everyday stuff. And what you really need to do is be working on your business and not in it. And if you're working in your business, and you're there all day, you won't do the things you're meant to be doing. So you need to be able to trust your team to do that. And I think if the less you know about it, the more you let them get on with it, basically. So I think it's actually a benefit not to have that experience.
Okay, interesting. So get in there. Sorry, we're going to get a bit of that doing a walking podcast for sure. But yeah, no, fantastic. And I mean, you spoke earlier a little bit about the sort of networking on a local level, and but you just talk a little bit more about that, because I think part of your role, and Richard, who is your counterpart for the sort of Midlands and the North, do a lot of this in training, don't you? About the building your local your reputation in your local community from the very start. So if you could sort of talk about that a bit, that'd be really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, from what we know, from the, I don't know, however many years of experience between us that we have of doing this, we know that networking is the key to it. It's people. We're not selling widgets from a garage. This is people working with people. So the clients that you get, the carers that you have, all of that is largely word of mouth. I mean, you can obviously do all the digital advertising and the marketing and everything, but ultimately people buy people.
Yeah.
And when it's something so sensitive, people want to go with a company that they trust.
Yeah, sure.
Care tends to be a distressed purchase, as they call it, because you don't even know care companies exist until you're desperate, until you need something because something's happened. Quite often, and so in that environment you want to be known in your community, because let's face it, as the 50-year-old daughters, like myself, of parents who need care suddenly, and if I, as a franchisee, have been out there and I've been raising money, or I've done events and I've been doing stuff that means that lady knows me personally, she'll come to me, won't she? Care. So it is so important. It's so low level.
I bang on about digital marketing all the time, obviously, in my role, but it really sounds to me like there's a lot to be said still about just getting your face out there, isn't there? And, just go in and rubbing shoulders with people, because at the end of the day as well, like you say, it's a distressed purchase. Anybody in any profession might need it at some point, so get yourself out in the local community and engage with people. I think that's one of the key messages there.
Absolutely. I mean, let's be honest, everybody at some time or another is going to have a health concern or frailty, and that's from our grandparents to our parents to us, and later on, our children as well. So every generation is going to need this. Every generation is going to need care at some point, and we're at the point now, or I'm at the point now, where my parents are going to need it. So I'm looking out for this, and I know you're quite a bit younger than I am, so in a couple of decades' time, you'll be in that position as well, I'm sure. So, if you know who's in your local community and who you trust, because they are a pillar of your community, that's who you're going to go with.
Yeah,
not
interesting.
the cheapest company or the most expensive company or the one with the flashiest stuff. It will be the one that you trust.
Great.
And that has been the same for the last 15 years.
Okay, great. Right, we're going to continue this chat up on the balcony, so we'll make our way over there. We're not going to walk upstairs backwards, so we'll stop and crack on.
Okay, see you there.
Right, so here we are. We're back, and we're on the balcony overlooking the British and International Franchise Exhibition at Olympia. Julie, just taking that view for a second. Beautiful, isn't it?
Amazing.
You can
It's
see
lovely.
see Amrit down there, man in the stand. Great, give him a wave. But really, I think what a lot of franchisees or prospective franchisees ask and what they want to know about really is the economics behind running a franchise. And obviously part of your role, I think, is to help franchisees understand that incoming. So if you could talk a little bit about that as well, I think that'd be really useful.
Yeah, absolutely. So in the very start, obviously there's the liquid capital that you need and the working capital that you need in order to get going.
Sure.
Once you're up and trading and working, essentially you should be able to get to break even at about 6 to 8 months,
Okay.
maybe less, depends on the situation, how many clients you get in those first early months. But around 8 months, 6 to 8 months, you should be breaking even.
Yeah.
So, and that's with your registered manager, so the person that's running the operation for you.
Okay.
As I said earlier, you don't want to be in there doing all the work. You need to be out there growing the business. So,
Sure.
so the registered manager will be there, and then what you need to do is then start taking on. You need to then start taking on additional people. So When you're about 300 hours a week,
Yeah.
you should be taking on your first supervisor.
Okay.
And then you grow a bit more and you take on your coordinator. And then as you grow more and more and more, you would just take on more and more supervisors, mentors, senior carers,
Sure.
people to help support the care team who are the lifeblood of your business. And basically you go from 0 to, the sky's the limit really, but an average of about 2 to 250,000 in the first year.
Okay.
And then upwards of can be 500,000-600,000 in the second year. So it's a very quick growing business, but you need to get the efficiencies right because you can have a huge amount of turnover, but your margins can be really squeezed. So if you've got the wrong people in the wrong seats, and you've got a big group of ineffectual people in your team, you can end up spending all of your money that you're earning on the team's salaries, So it's really, really important to make sure you've got the right people doing the right jobs at the right time.
Sure.
And that you set good objectives and KPIs for them so that they're really aware of your expectations on them.
Okay.
That's very, very important as well.
Yeah, interesting. And just thinking while you were talking there about, it really hits home about a survey that the BFA did with NatWest it's a few years ago now. But I know the numbers are still fairly similar, that it's less than 1% of franchise startups actually end in commercial failure, whereas a good chunk of independent businesses actually fail in the first 5 years. And I just wonder why you think that might be, and I guess a lot of it is that infrastructure that's already in place from the franchisor, but also the stuff that franchise support managers like yourself get them doing from day one to make sure that failure doesn't happen, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, franchising is well known for being most successful because the proven models that people have, these guys down here and us, we've got a proven track record of how it works, when it works, what you need to do to get to a point where you're at break even. Yeah. And, so the proven track record and all the documentation, the policies, we're very heavily regulated in the care sector as well. So all of that it's kind of a shortcut really to starting a run instead of trying to find everything out for yourself. So it's from a franchise model point of view, that's the useful, a really useful way to start a business.
Cool.
I think also the tools that we use really help.
Right.
So we've got things that we've created over the years from our experience with the best franchisees in the business. So we can show any franchisee what the perfection looks like. Right. And then we can help them get there. As I said earlier, some people will find it really, really easy to do the marketing, but they won't find it easy to do something else, like managing the team, for example. So we are there to make sure that the bits where they're not in their comfort zone become their comfort zone quickly.
Yeah, sure.
And by using tools, we can help monitor that because we're not in people's businesses every day. We only see them maybe once every couple of months, especially as they get older. So because we don't see them every day, we need to be able to have some sort of check on all of the key metrics in their business.
Sure.
So we look at those and we can see when the business is going a bit off balance.
Interesting. So I suppose, and a lot of those tools that have been developed by franchisors have been developed through failure, right? So we've seen or we've proven things that fail and don't fail, and that's why I guess a lot of franchise startups do see commercial success. So look, we're at Olympia. So last question really, but I think it'd be really cool for there's going to be a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs here today who really haven't met many franchisors before, don't really know that much about it. What sort of questions should they be asking the people they're walking around?
I mean, I think some of the questions you've asked me today, to be honest, I think they need to be really comfortable with the investment. For a start.
Sure.
Some franchises are £5,000 to get going, others are 250,000. So.
And you obviously need that capital behind you as well for the first year. It's not just you buy in and then you're good to go. You've got to have something behind you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, ideally, you should be able to support yourself for the first year. Because you don't want the added pressure of running short on cash yourself while you're trying to get a business off the ground. It's stressful enough, isn't it? To be doing that. So you don't need the pressure of that either. So, but definitely asking, yourself, how much have I got to invest?
Yep.
But then going and speaking to the people that grab you. I mean, everyone's here to sell. Everyone's got a shop front, haven't they? So
Big time.
you can go and see them. And as I've said before, there's quite a few home care companies franchised, and a few of them are here today. And I think you've got to go and have a chat with them. You've got to really understand what people, what the brand is like, what the brand identity is, and the support team. So glad to say we're all here today so that we can meet these people. They just need to really do their research and find somebody that they gel with.
Great. Well, Julie, I think that's all great advice. And if you are an aspiring entrepreneur listening to this, really think about what Julie was saying there and go and ask the questions, essentially. So, Julie, thank you very much for joining me today up on the balcony and down on the shop front floor. And we're going to get back down there now, talk to a load of people. It's been an absolute pleasure. Walfinch out.